What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm continuing to show you how to make Bendy and the ink machine in Minecraft. This is part 3, and in this one, we're going to be doing this entire hallway section, along with starting a little bit of the ink machine room. Not really a ton, but yeah, that's really all. So with that being said, hey, look, it's me. Enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. So we're gonna start by, I guess, just doing the entire freaking hallway pretty much. And I feel like laying it out first will be better, even if we don't necessarily finish all the detailing, that's fine. I just want to have most of it there so we can worry about it later. At least the one going straight to the ink machine. I'm not worried about the path to the left yet either. You want to start anyway by getting out for this part. Chiseled bookshelves. Stripped jungle wood. Stripped oak wood. Oak slabs. Oak doors, oak planks, beehives, I suppose, would be useful. Maybe mud brick walls. I think we'll grab them. Yeah, I think they'll be helpful. I'm not entirely sure if we're going to use them or not because they're kind of a weird part to do for that, but... And we'll get our oak stairs as well. So if you head into the main area where we started, you want to just, like, you know, look to the right. And we're going to take the strip jungle wood to the left first, which is this one. And if you're looking towards it, you're going to bring this strip jungle wood backwards, which would just be out, rather, with one chiseled bookshelf, upward facing strip jungle wood, 2 chiseled bookshelves, upward facing strip jungle wood. Then beyond that, you want an oak plank in the floor with an oak door facing into the stripped jungle wood on top of it. Then going back from that, you'll place 3 chiseled bookshelves. And then from the end of this row, you'll extend right, or I guess towards the front technically, with 2 chiseled bookshelves, an oak slab, 2 chiseled bookshelves. Then you'll head forward with 3. Then place an upward facing strip jungle wood. Then right with 4 chiseled bookshelves. Upward facing strip jungle wood. And then you're going to go back, which is that way, with 2 chiseled bookshelves. Oak slab. Chiseled bookshelf. Upward facing strip jungle wood. 4 chiseled bookshelves. Upward facing strip jungle wood. 4 chiseled bookshelves. Upward facing strip jungle wood. Then 1 chiseled bookshelf. I'll have this one facing into the strip jungle, that is important. And then behind that, an oak plank in the floor with an oak door facing into that chiseled bookshelf. On top of the plank. And then behind that, 2 chiseled bookshelves, again facing like along here. Strip jungle wood facing up. And then you want to go 4 chiseled bookshelves. Strip jungle wood facing up. By the way, I'm having a crouch place for a lot of this. I guess that's kind of, better late than never. Then you're going to go down in the floor back from that with 4 oak planks. And then behind that, a strip jungle wood facing upward that is not in the floor. Then... This kind of is an asterisk, you'll see why later, but you're placing 4 oak planks and then a strip jungle wood facing upward. Not in the floor, those 4. Not in the floor, those 4. Wow, crazy. Continuing on from that, you'll place 3 chiseled bookshelves, all of these face out. Then an oak slab, and then an upward facing strip jungle wood. That's the end of this hallway, although we're not done, because I do want to get to the ink machine room. From this end strip jungle, you're going to go right with 4 chiseled bookshelves. Strip jungle wood facing up. 2 oak planks. Oak slab. Oak plank. Upward facing strip jungle wood. And then from there you can go back with 1 oak plank. 2 chiseled bookshelves, and then 1 oak plank. And that is the end of that side. The other one's a little bit worse, I would say, just because we have to go out at the front. Although we don't have the... Oh, we have more. Do we have more doors? Yeah, I guess we have more doors. So if you head back to the beginning and head to the strip jungle wood pillar here, which would be to the right of it, you want to extend this to the right, which is going to be technically towards the actual front of the build, with 4 chiseled bookshelves, and let the pattern begin. Strip jungle wood facing up, 4 oak planks, strip jungle wood facing up. Wow, that was brilliant. 1 chiseled bookshelf, 1 oak slab, 3 chiseled bookshelves, and then you want to go back from this one with 10, then left by 2, I think that is. Yeah. Then place an oak plank in the floor with an oak door on top of it facing into the chiseled bookshelves you just placed. That's really cool. I'm so glad I broke that. And then left of that, you'll place another chiseled bookshelf. Upward facing strip jungle wood. And then you're going to go back with, let the patterns begin, 4 chiseled bookshelves. Strip jungle wood facing up. 4 chiseled bookshelves. It actually changes after this one. Strip jungle wood facing up. 1 chiseled bookshelf. An oak plank in the floor behind that with an oak door on top, which will face into the chiseled bookshelf. And then still again from the bottom half of the door, that would be an important thing to probably point out. You're going to place going back 10 chiseled bookshelves. You'll then place in the floor behind that an oak plank with an oak door facing into those chiseled bookshelves from there. Then 1 chiseled bookshelf. Stripped jungle wood facing up. Then 4 oak planks, these are the weird ones. Stripped jungle wood facing up. And then from there you'll head right with oak slab, chiseled bookshelf, oak slab, chiseled bookshelf, upward facing strip jungle wood, 5 chiseled bookshelves, and then you're going to go back with also 5 chiseled bookshelves, then an oak plank, 2 chiseled bookshelves, oak plank. Before we start bringing any of this up, fill in the floor of this with oak planks. This one's a little bit weird because there's a lot of misleading things that we did, specifically with the oak and the oak slabs, because there's some weird exceptions to the general rule that we follow. As you probably noticed, there were 2 directly next to each other back there. Yeah. But we're just going to fill in everything first for the floor, and then we have a little bit of a foundation to work with. Hopefully everyone is having a good day or night. I am for the most part. I think I have 3 videos I'm recording today. I'm recording 2 parts of this, and then I probably am recording a /fill video. Assuming that I feel like it. That's probably already been out, though. So, you know. Not that that particularly matters, unless you remember watching this, like, the second it releases, because there's, like, a good chance that... there's a good chance that's also... no, probably not, actually, because those are short. That's going to be a short one, so... no, there's still a good chance that's actually first, anyway. Because I always just, like... I go, longest to shortest when I render, and obviously I'll just upload them when they finish rendering. And because of how much shorter, it'll probably just come out first. So yeah, you should have this. That's the section we're going to try to finish entirely today. I'm not really going to say, yeah, we're going to do that, but that's the plan. Extend each strip jungle wood up by 3. I want to start with that, because that's the one step that I think we can rely on here to not be misleading. Until I remember that there's a misleading part. It's not a misleading part, don't worry. Or shouldn't be. You do never know, technically, but... I'm pretty sure I know, and I'm going to trust myself, so... I guess the only one that would be slightly misleading is this inner corner one here. Or I guess outer corner one, rather. But you do need to bring that up still anyway, at least like 2. Although it doesn't really... it's not misleading, it's just... technically you don't need it up. Okay, I want to focus on the oak planks, and we're actually going to head to the back first. And the area with the 2 oak slabs that are next to each other. This one of them should be in line with another slab, essentially. If you just like trace it backwards, and it's the right one, which is this one. Place just on top of that 3 stripped oak wood, facing up. On the row of 4 behind it, you're just placing 3 rows of oak planks. The only other part that's weird with this is these rows of 4 oak, just behind the opening on the left wall here. It's going to be... Essentially what you want to do is the back 2 oak planks you're bringing up with 1 oak plank each, and then just the rest of them you're bringing, or all of them from there you're bringing up with stripped oak wood until you're the same height as the stripped jungle. Which will give you this. A little, like, curved bit. I could have brought it out of the wall, but because of the mud brick walls, it just kind of would be weird. Now we can kind of do the normal thing. So you're taking each of the oak slabs and you're doing the same thing we've been doing. You're taking the chiseled bookshelf to the left of it and bringing it up with an upside down oak stair facing right. For the ones that actually have a pillar to the side of them, you're just taking the third block up of the pillar and placing an upside down oak stair facing left off of it with a stripped oak wood to the left of that. And again, you're just doing that with each of the remaining slabs. It's not particularly complicated. If you need to place stripped oak wood as extras, you can, just because it doesn't matter. We're filling in the walls in a bit anyway. But yeah, like, I'll place them for that stair, and then I guess I'll also place both sides there. And yeah. Fairly basic. Is that all of them? I think I got them all. No, I missed this one. Sneaky little guy. You thought you could get away with it. You cannot. Okay, there we go. That should be all of them, yeah. Everything else should just be basic, where you're bringing the oak planks that are remaining up with 3 oak planks, chiseled bookshelves up with 3 stripped oak wood, making sure you go around these shapes. 2 stripped oak wood on top of the doors. Should be everything. Unless I'm missing something. I don't think so. We will block off the doors we don't need right now, just so we can kind of run around a little bit easier later when we... I guess do know or when we just have the doors that we need available, you know, just kind of go about our day with it. But yeah, a little bit of a strange aspect in some parts. The thing that sucks is, like, generally because there's a lot of different textures going on in this game. Of course, because everything is the same color, I kind of have to, you know, limit my block choice from what I would do. Like, some of these areas I would definitely be using other walls or stuff for, if I could, but, you know, fairly limited. Like, textures of other blocks might fit better, I guess is what I'm trying to say, not really color-oriented. But I feel like prioritizing color first and then texture after makes the most sense. It's something I always battle with in, like, the big maps, like Poppy Playtime and them. I guess not this one, because, well, I kind of know what color palette I need. But, like, just, what do I want to use for this color? Because sometimes it's just, like, a weird gray or, like, whatever color that it's, like, it just doesn't quite work with any of the blocks. Especially when you're trying to contrast them with others. Anyway, you should have this. We can... Before we fill in the ceiling, I do want to confirm and see if there's any strip jungle. There's, I think, 2 areas of it, and there's also an area that doesn't exist. I'll explain that one in a second. So, if you, in this hallway, the doorway, or the, I guess, opening on the left, which leads into the, like, vast majority of this chapter over here, you want to take the 2 strip jungle wood rows either side and extend them up by 1, and connect them across the hallway, which is left to right. The front one doesn't actually have a partner, but you can just connect it forward into the stripped oak instead. It's a little bit weird. There's definitely some questionable inconsistencies here. So, the other thing, when I said it doesn't exist, I think we're going to block off the doors first, actually, though. If you start from the back and head forward, the 2 doors, there's one on the right and one on the left. The, like, backmost one is fine. The right one you're going to blank off, which is this one, with oak planks. The left one is that little closet. And then the only other door, actually, the other 2 doors, the one here kind of where the wall sticks out a bit, is getting boarded off, and so is the one kind of close to the main area here. Now, for the ceiling, beehives again facing the same way. However, there is going to be one area you're going to want to break that trend, and I'll show you why. So, in this area, the, like, front right-hand corner right here, you want to place chiseled, or beehives on the top of the wall for, like, 5 blocks branching out, kind of in either direction. I guess it's 4 visible out, like so, and I'm actually going to go a 5th, and you'll see why in a sec, but yeah, it's just basically out until you're on the strip jungle wood on this wall, and then until you're just the same distance out on the other one. You're going to connect these beehives together from the furthest end ones, which means bringing this one, if I'm on the inside, I'll bring it right by, I guess, 5, and then connect it forward with 4. This area you're leaving open. However, the only thing I want to point out is these beehives with the notches visible, I would probably flip them around. Just these 4. And then you can fill in the rest of this area ceiling in with beehives. When you get to the, like, ink machine room, which is the very end of this hallway, let me just confirm what we're doing, because I feel like it's just ending a block short. Yeah, you're just ending a block short of the end of the archway. I'll show you what I mean in a second. But yeah, again, make sure you don't switch the beehive direction, because it never changes for some reason, apparently. It's just like that. Dang, already 15 minutes in. That's crazy. And yeah, I guess next part will be ink machine room based on the trend of where we're going, because I feel like doing ink machine room, getting that one out of the way is going to be cool. Because it's kind of the big room, you know? It's like the room. I'm going to fill between the strip jungle here as well over this little, I guess, opening. Which is, again, where the hallway will branch off into most of the remaining rooms. Although there's a couple big rooms over here. There's this with the ink machine room, obviously, and then there's the employee lounge, which leads to its own area, which we'll probably do with it. And then, what's the other one? The closet, but that's not particularly a big room, I guess. So yeah, again, you're just stopping before that last row of oak planks, like so. Nice. I'm gonna head back to the hole in the ceiling here. And so, with this hole in the ceiling, you want to wrap around, like, on top of the beehives, just chiseled bookshelves facing out on top. Again, we'll almost never want the black texture visible. Except for that one instance in the main area, which we wanted it, but that's just a rare case. The upside down oak stairs, you're going to fill in line with the chiseled bookshelves, and you want to face them towards the actual back of the build right now. Because we're essentially right next to the entrance, as you see. Oh, that lines up. I didn't notice that. But you're just kind of placing upside down oak stairs facing backwards like this. You can see they're facing that way. Don't trap yourself out. Although you can get back in through probably one of the holes in the wall. There's one right here, right? Yeah. You just, like, crawl through here. Or I guess crouch through there. And yeah, there you go. Now, that should be everything we can do as far as... Not quite. There's one thing we can do, and it's kind of unnecessary. Is there one at the back? I don't think so. Oh, there is one at the back. So we're gonna build these, even though we shouldn't probably. Head all the way to the ink machine room, or just before it, and if you're about to turn left to go to that, like, end hallway or into the room, in this corner you're placing 2 oak planks extending left towards it. Extend them up with another row of oak planks, and then place a set of oak stairs on top facing away from each other. I don't know why I'm doing this without just flying. It'd be so much easier. Get rid of anything but your mud brick walls or your oak planks and stairs. I'll get rid of the beehives. And get out polished blackstone buttons, and just place a 2x2 of buttons off the bottom. You want another one of these, like, all the way back, and it's going to be left of the first door we would have placed. It's where you have these 3 rows of stripped jungle. I believe it's just between the, like, 2 before the door, right? It's just directly between, yeah, it is. So it's just covering the chiseled bookshelves, and then obviously the blocks above, and it's just the same thing. Mud brick walls, I think we can use, and when I say I think, I mean we can use. I don't know why I'm saying I think. You want to get rid of your oak doors and stripped oak wood along with... we'll go with that for now because I think that's... No, actually there's one more. So get rid of polished blackstone buttons as well and get out blackstone slabs. Blackstone walls as well, either way. And structure voids again, which you should have from the previous area, I think, yeah. If you don't, just head over to these banners here and just go boink and block pick it. This only works in Bedrock, but there is a way to do it in Java. I just don't know how. It's with the... I'll get there. Hold on. Give me a sec. It's with the debug stick. So if you're heading down this hallway, you want to take the right wall, and the strip jungle, like, just to the left of this door, you're heading back to the block before the, I guess, first actual strip jungle wood pillar. And floor to ceiling, you're going to place a blackstone wall, mud brick wall, blackstone wall, and then an oak plank. Between the next set of strip jungle wood, you're placing mud brick walls at the left, right, and top. Connecting the bottom mud brick walls together, you'll place structure voids, and you'll do the same with the top. You can just debug stick these side ones to make them do whatever you want. Might also be recommended to do the top ones if you're using debug stick, but yeah, this kind of gives you the weird... these are weird. They're like wooden boards that are just haphazardly placed. I don't really know why. Continue heading along, and if you take the strip jungle wood pillar here on the left, just before that entranceway, would be the one before the opening. You'll take the second chiseled bookshelf behind it and place mud brick walls at the left and right in line with that. None at the top, no doorway, just that. Keep heading back until you're behind the funny little oak plank diagonals here, and you're doing mud brick walls at the left, right, and top between these two strip jungle wood pillars. Again, structure voids filling in the center at the top and bottom res. Keep heading along to where you have these like oak slabs in the wall. It's the two that aren't actually part of these little holes. You'll place a black stone slab extending in from either. You can pick whichever, but I picked from this perspective the left one to be an oak slab and the right one to be a black stone slab. Doesn't matter all that much, but you know, unless it is symmetrical and I just forgot. Keep heading along to these oak plank rows in the wall just before the ink machine room. And you want to bring the top oak planks in by one with oak planks, and then connect them together with two upside down oak slabs going just left to right like so. Underneath these oak planks, you'll place mud brick walls extending down to the ground, just like so. Different arches. There's a couple different ones, and that might be all of them. I have no idea, honestly. Don't ask me. Clear your inventory. Do make sure you just shove the structure voids in your inventory, because those will be useful for later, or you know where to block pick them. And you can now get out black concrete, oak signs, barriers, block of coal, black stained glass pens, ochre frog lights. Wherever they are, I just like lost them. There we go. Oak trapdoors, oak fence, or you could use fence gates, although I'm leaning towards fences. What else would be helpful at this point? I guess paintings. Paintings is a good one. So you probably know the first rule here. You're blocking all of these off the way we have already. Black concrete behind them, entirely behind the stairs and everything. This is really annoying to place. Why am I doing it like this? Okay. Barrier in the center between all the stairs and stuff, and then you're placing oak signs off of the two upside down stairs and the barrier, and then you're extending right by one from the barrier. If you can, you can't on all of them, because some of them are in corners and stuff, but the ones that you can, do that with. And yeah. Again, these are definitely a little bit annoying to do, but eventually you do get the hang of them. I'm at the back, right? Yeah, I am. I keep getting confused. It all is the same color. I guess that wasn't obvious yet. I don't know if you guys noticed, but everything in this build is like exactly the same. I'll shut up now. But it just, I don't know. Even ignoring the color, it all just looks the same to me. It's all hallways that are segmented exactly the same. This game said symmetry is cool. Let's use a lot of it. Although, I mean, I guess I don't hate the idea of having, you know, even segments in an area. Just, when you're building it, you sometimes get lost in the sauce, because you don't know what you're doing. I don't know what I'm doing, either. Nice. Do head back to the front once you are done with that, because we're going to kind of clean sweep with what we can at this moment. Get rid of the barriers and get out stripped oak wood. Or logs, doesn't actually matter. But again, just shove the barriers in your inventory, don't actually remove them. Worst case, you're going to use block pick them later. And we'll do this as we go about, because we do need the oak signs for that. Starting from this area, you want to take the corner like next to this hole in the wall, and you're going to break the beehive in the ceiling and replace it with a block of coal. The stripped oak wood back wall, which is the shorter one here, you're also replacing that top left corner with a block of coal. Have a black stained glass pane between the two. Leave a gap of one going down. Black stained glass pane, and the floor below that, you want block of coal. This just makes it look like it's actually dripping, rather than just being there. Have a little bit more movement if you will. That's where I got the idea to add that in the tips video as well, because I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing. Up against the like back right-hand wall on this oak plank, you want to count forward by 1 and place 2 oak trap doors open up against the left half here that are just on top of one another. Off the bottom one, you'll go left with 2 oak trap doors off the top half, but the second one you want to open so it is up against the previous one, and it'll give you a chair. Or backwards lowercase h, technically. Directly above the center of the chair, you're going to break the beehive, replace it with an oak or frog light with an oak trap door off the underside. You could use item frames, that's also an option, but I think the oak trap doors work better either way. I do like to throw that out there. If you were still looking back at this area, you're just kind of walking to the right, and this panel here, you're breaking the, like, center 2 rows of stripped oak wood. Place ochre frog lights at the top, which we'll worry about in a second, and then at the bottom 2 rows, you're placing stripped oak wood facing left to right this time. Place oak signs off each stripped oak wood. This is like, I think it's rules or something. I don't remember. But I remember it was like something about company policy, maybe. Off the ochre frog lights, you're placing oak fences with oak trapdoors open up against the left and right, like so. Moving along. Again, keep heading to the right until you're in the very corner, and just off this oak plank in the corner, you're placing 2 oak fence extending up. Remember this later, because we are actually going to use it to help us with something else. In the back right-hand corner, which is just, you know, kind of not opposite of the fence, but you know, it's close enough, whatever. Off these back 2 oak planks, you're placing oak trapdoors open up against the left of either block. From the front one, you're placing an oak trapdoor left of it open up against the back, and then left of that, an oak trapdoor open up against the right. From the back right-hand corner beehive, you're counting forward by 2, and you're breaking this one and replacing it with a block of coal with a black stained glass pane underneath. Leave a gap of 1 going down, black stained glass pane. The stripped oak wood that black stained glass pane is sitting off of, you're going to replace with a block of coal. Extend that block of coal down 1. That's not what I meant to do. It's so over. I'm going to get rid of the oak signs. Hopefully we don't need them, because I don't feel like getting them back out. Actually, we do need them again. Gosh darn it. But underneath that block of coal, you're placing another block of coal anyway, and then extending it right by 1, which is forward. In line with both those, you're breaking the oak planks in the floor and replacing them with block of coal as well. And then you're extending back into the corner by a block, and then the center of that row of 3 can be brought out an additional 1. The original block of coal on the ceiling just in front of it, you'll replace this beehive with an ochre frog light with an oak trapdoor underneath. Turn to your left to this strip jungle wood just to the left of the oak door, and count forward from it by 4, and then right by 1. Place 2 oak trapdoors extending forward. And we actually do have paintings. I forgot that I got out paintings. Crazy. The 4x4 of oak plank on the front wall in like the center. The left middle, you're going to place a 1x2 painting on, excuse me, which is going to be Mario. I'm calling him Mario. I don't care if he's Mario or not. He's Mario in my eyes, and that's all that matters. Anyway, carrying on. You want to not go that way. You want to head backwards, and you're just going until you have the opening on the left again, which is going to be the... I don't need to say that again. Break the middle 2 beehives in the doorway itself, and replace them with ochre frog lights with oak trapdoors off of the underside of them. Keep heading back until you're on the second row of beehives behind this strip jungle wood, and on the center 2 ones, you're placing oak trapdoors open up against the front. I don't know why I didn't use hanging signs here, but whatever. You're placing oak signs off either oak trapdoor, and you want to actually write something on these. On the left one, you're going to crouch place the oak sign, and then you're going down a line and you're typing ink in, I guess, all caps. At the front of that word, you want a bunch of spaces, so it basically goes to the end. I might leave 1 less, though, like so. And then the other one, you'll crouch place down a line and type in all caps machine, and then have all the spaces at the end. And again, I'll be 1 short. Actually, just go to the next line. That works. Never mind. No, it doesn't. That put it all the way to the end. That's crazy. It clickbaited me. So yeah, you should have this. Continuing to head back, this panel behind us, I guess not behind us, but the one in front of us, you're going to take the bottom right 2 stripped oaks and break them and replace them with sideways stripped oak woods with oak signs off of them. Turn to your right and off the oak slab on the little pipe here, you're placing a oak sign. Go down a line, type watch your in all caps, and then down another line and type step. I don't know why I struggle with that. The oak panel to the left, you're taking the top left and counting down diagonally right by 1, placing oak sign. Down a line, type danger, and the next line down, keep out. What does that say? Even though I just said it. The little holes you're going to have here either side of the pipe, you will want to fill in with black concrete from the outside. Block of coal would technically work since we have it, but we have black concrete as well. But I am just, you know, considering you could totally, like, make these block of coal. It would be interesting. Make them look more inky, I guess. So, anyway. This one here, I am going to also note the little hole in the wall. I actually don't have the oak sign on the strip jungle. Doesn't matter if you have it or not, I just don't. Clear your inventory again and get out the following. Flower pots. Stripped dark oak wood. Dark oak signs. Yellow dye, maybe, and I'll explain why maybe in a second here. Block of stripped bamboo. Bamboo mosaic slab. That's a weird one that I'll probably never use again, but it's getting its spotlight right now. Item frames. Dark oak trapdoors. And oak slab. We'll go with that. So, first off, I've already lost myself in the sauce. You want to, above the 2 sideways stripped oak wood with the signs off them, break the next row up and replace them with sideways stripped dark oak wood with dark oak signs off of them. Again, this one says something or other, I forget. Turn to the left, and where this oak slab is in the corner, just off of it, you're placing a block of stripped bamboo facing up. You're going to have an oak sign here that you're going to remove because you're placing on top of this strip bamboo a bamboo mosaic slab. These are the barrels. I know barrels exist in the game, but the barrels are like yellow, so I thought that this design worked. And it's also a little bit bulkier. Right of this, you're leaving a gap of 1 and then placing 2 flower pots, which will end up being below the sign on the wall. Turn to your left, and from the upside down oak stair at the top of the hole in the wall here, you should have 3 stripped oak to the side. The center one, you're placing a dark oak sign, and this one is the same as the one we made at the, like, entrance kind of on the inside of the vent, so you can just copy it if you want with the data copy thing, but I'm going to just type it again, and we'll need to do it one more time as well, so you might want to, again, control copy it once we're done. But you're going to do a, oh my god, I always get it confused, greater than symbol, I want to say? Less than symbol. Yeah, and then you're typing exit. You can also do an arrow emoji. I'll show you. Hold on. Arrow. Boink. That's what it looks like. And then you can just back or delete the VS16, whatever. And it does change the font, as you can see. And if I remove it, the font should go back. Yeah. And then you'll just place your yellow dye on it. Heading back forward now, you want to be between these 2 mud brick walls where there is no top row here. And at the left center, you're counting away from you by 1 and placing 4 item frames extending towards the front, which would be towards that painting right there. The back 3 ones or front 3 ones, depending on which way you look at it, but the ones closest to or furthest from you, you're bringing right with an item frame each. And out of that middle row of 3, or out of that middle one of the row of 3, you're actually going to trace it left and place an item frame off the left there. These item frames are annoying, but it is what it is. Oh yeah, I could have, okay, never mind, that's fine. Keep heading forward, and I didn't mean to grab spruce slabs, by the way, I meant to grab oak. I said oak, I know. This strip jungle wood pillar to the side of the door, the one at, or the third one up, you're placing a dark oak trap door open up against. I want to say this is a clock. I think it's a bendy clock, but I don't remember exactly. I just feel like I have that in my memory that it was a bendy clock. Turn around, and we're gonna like leave this area for a sec. The singular row of the stripped oak wood wall between the 2 jungle pillars, the I guess middle of the stripped oak wood, you're placing a dark oak sign on, and again you're doing the less than symbol, and then exit in all caps on the second line. Yellow dye off of it and or on it, and bam. Heading back to where we were on top of the oak fences, you'll place an oak slab here. You can clear your inventory and get out. Oak stairs. Conduit. Where is conduits? There we go. Dark oak fences. Dark oak fence gates. Why do I feel like I'm missing something? Oh yeah, I am. That's definitely would be because I am. Composter. And oak pressure plate. The fact that I remembered that is kind of funny, actually. Off the oak slab, you're placing an oak stair facing towards you, which would be towards, like, the exit sign over there, that one. On top of that oak stair, you're placing a conduit. Again, it will emit light, that's fine, though. From this angle, left of the bottom oak fence, you're placing a composter with an oak pressure plate on top. From the stripped oak wood above the composter, you'll count up one, left one, and going left, you're doing the following row. You're placing a dark oak fence gate that's opened up against the wall. 2 dark oak fence. Closed dark oak fence gate. Open dark oak fence gate, and then a dark oak fence at the end. That's the hallway done. That's really all we needed to do and all I wanted to do in this part. Because we have time, we can start a little bit of the ink machine room. We're not going to get insane with it. I just think I want to get, like, the flooring here and maybe this part of the wall laid out, because we only have about 4 minutes. But you want to start by getting out oak planks, chiseled bookshelves, stripped oak wood, oak signs, blackstone walls, oak fence. I already said that. Frick. What else? What else? Maybe strip jungle wood will be helpful. Oak trap doors. And oak stairs. So, if you head outside, you want to take these... Wow, grass. You want to take the middle 4 oak planks here, and you're going to extend them each out with also 4 oak planks, which is going to be just, you know, towards the open freedom. You'll extend this row of 4 left, what should be left and right by 5 per row. And I'm correct, by the way, on that. I know I said should be, but that would imply that I'm not 100% positive, and I just want to confirm that I am 100% positive. Extend the, like, backmost row of oak planks down by 4, which will be this back one here, the one furthest from everything we've done so far. This won't be particularly important now, but just nice to have it there. I guess we can place strip jungle wood facing upward off the left and right of this little wall we just made. Yeah, I think this will be nice to have this little area done at the bare minimum. Not even necessarily the detailing on it, just getting it laid out. You'll take the strip jungle wood from there on both sides, and you want to extend it up by 9. You'll then connect those top ones together with sideways strip jungle wood, like so. You'll take the, not the, like, corners of strip jungle, but you're actually counting in by 1 and taking these strip jungles and extending them kind of back towards this entranceway with 3 strip jungle wood, which is going to be over the oak planks we've already placed there. Below us, I guess. You want to take the oak plank archway, and specifically the left and right rows of oak planks, and extend them up by 3 with oak planks. Between them, you're placing a row of chiseled bookshelves facing, I guess just into the beehives would make the most sense. And then on the next row, you're placing a stripped oak wood on the left and right facing up, with sideways stripped oak wood in the middle, with oak signs off of them, and then you'll just place upward facing stripped oak wood above. Left and right of this, you could just place 4 rows of upward facing stripped oak wood. Doesn't really matter if you have extra at the bottom. Don't go over, though, the top, because that's going to be a little bit dumb. We might even do the decoration here. Who knows? And I'm kind of debating right now if I wanted to... like, what order I want to go in for rooms. Although this might take the entire next part, too, so I guess I shouldn't be concerned about that yet. Anyway, you should have this. Off the top 2 rows of stripped oak on the left and right here, and specifically the middle 2 blocks, you'll place oak stairs facing out. Surround them in oak trap doors, either opened or closed, to kind of almost encase them. You want to make sure the front, or the, I guess, way the stairs are facing is open still, but it's just like the sides of them, like so. And these are vents. That looks like a face. Oh my god. Why does it always look like a face? Off these chiseled bookshelves, you'll place black stone walls on the inside just to kind of cover them. You're filling in the sides with stripped oak wood up to the same height as the already there stripped oak wood, which is just outside of the oak planks. It should be in line with the stripped jungle, but it won't go quite up to the top of it. You'll have this weird gap, but that'll get filled with composters of all things later. It just was the correct texture and color, so why would I pass up? Although they do shine light through, I think. I'm pretty sure they did. I forget, though. You should have this. I just want to do one more thing, I think. Going right to left on this area, or a couple more, I guess, because it's not quite one. You want to place 3 oak fence, stripped oak wood, and then the rest will be oak fence, whatever. This stripped oak wood, you'll extend up by 1. There are a couple of oak signs we can place. There is one on the right side here, like this end row of stripped oak wood just before the jungle. It'll be the 3rd one up where you'll place an oak sign. Go down a line, type danger in all caps. Down a line, keep out. What is that? I had to make the joke again. I couldn't pass up. And then on the actual row of fences, you're going to be on the, I believe, 5th one over from the right, which is this one, and you'll place an oak sign there. The signs do come back for a very strange reason in the next part, but you're going to have to trust the process. Before we end, I want to do one thing, and it's just get out a tripwire hook, and off the top stripped oak wood, you're placing a tripwire hook. And, yeah, once you're done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is part 3 of Bendy and the Ink Machine complete. That's pretty good progress, I would say. There's still a lot, obviously, because we have the whole lower area as well. But, like, if we can finish one big room apart, or, like, a hallway section, I'm okay with that, you know? That's good progress overall. But, yeah, thank you all so if you guys did enjoy this video. If you do have anything to say, I guess, congrats, I don't know. Have a fantastic rest of your day or night. I remembered to check that too late, though. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.